upon a time, a farmer planted a turnip seed. He watered it, and he tended it, and he waited very patiently for it to grow. Weeks passed, and finally the turnip seed grew and grew and grew until it was an enormous turnip, and the farmer decided to pick it.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big do they grow? Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho. This turnip just won't come out.
Well, the farmer had a wife, and she was watching from the kitchen window, and she poked her head out and asked what was going on.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need help? Yes.
So the wife came, and she put her hands around her husband's waist, and the two of them pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, they had a very little daughter who was watching from the window, and she poked her head out and asked what was going on.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need any help? Yes.
So the little girl came and put her hands around her mother, who had her hands around her father, and they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, the little girl had an older sister. She was a teenager, and she was watching out her bedroom window.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need help? Yes.
So she came and got behind her little sister, behind her mother, behind her father, and they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, they made so much noise they could hear them out in the barn, and the horse came out to see what was going on.
What's going on? The horse barked. Get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need help? Yes.
So the horse came and put her hooves around the daughters, around the mother, around the farmer, and they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, wherever the horse went, the cow went. So she poked her head out and asked what was happening.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need help? Yes.
And they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, the sheep heard the ruckus and asked what was happening.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground. Do you need help? Yes.
So the sheep got behind the cow, behind the horse, behind the daughters, behind the wife, behind the farmer, and they all pulled.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you did grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Wow, there were some bulls, and they heard the ruckus in the bullpen. They asked what was going on.
What's going on? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground.
So the bulls got behind the sheep, behind the cow, behind the horse, behind the daughters, behind the wife, behind the farmer, and they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you can grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
He made so much noise they could hear him over the pig pen, and the pig asked what was happening.
What's happening? We're trying to get an enormous turnip out of the ground.
He got behind and he helped, and they all pulled together.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big will it grow? Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Well, they made such a ruckus, they heard them all the way over at the chicken coop.
A chicken.
And out popped the chicken.
And
And she asked what was happening. So the chicken got behind the pigs, behind the bull, behind the sheep, behind the cow, behind the horse, behind the family, and they all pulled.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you can grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
A little tiny field mouse way out in the field heard the ruckus and popped his head out of the hole. And he asked what was happening. And he got behind the chicken, behind the bulls, behind the sheep, behind the cow, behind the horse, behind the daughters, behind the wife, behind the farmer, and they all pulled.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you can grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho, this turnip just won't come out.
Way up high in the sky, a little tiny bird was flying by, and she saw all these animals pulling on a family, pulling on a little green stalk, and she landed on the shoulder of a little tiny mouse, just as the mouse and the chicken and the pig and the bulls and the sheep and the cow and the horse and the daughters and the wife and the farmer all pulled one last time.
Heave-ho, heave-ho, oh beautiful turnip, how big you can grow. Hurry up, turnip, and don't be so slow. Heave-ho, heave-ho,
And out popped the turtle, and all the creatures fell over, and the little tiny bluebird said,